finished off their series in Cleveland with a classic comeback. Down 2-1 in the 8th, Eduardo Escobar doubled in Danny Santana to tie the game at 2. Top of the 9th, Torrey Hunter at the plate. Eduardo Nunez scores on a wild pitch. The same at-bat that Hunter, the sac fly to right field, that'll score Eddie Rosario. Dramatics with the Indians and a huge Minnesota win, 4-2. The Twins took 3 of 4 in Cleveland, and now they return home for the final games of the regular season. A huge 3-game series against the division-winning Kansas City Royals. KC has had a great regular season, tied with the Blue Jays for the best record in the American League, 92-67. The Royals have already clinched the division. Twins are still trying to chase down that second wild card spot. They are tied with the Angels right now. Both of those teams are 1 game behind Houston. Good evening from Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. This series is shaping up exactly the way the Twins had hoped, to give themselves a chance to make the postseason. They do need a little bit of help, but the Twins are pretty happy to be in this spot and have set up what could be a very exciting 3-game series. Here is what the weekend shapes up like, the final weekend of regular season baseball. The Astros will play 3 against the Diamondbacks. Houston's not been great on the road, but very good in interleague play this year. The Angels lost last night in Arlington. They continue their series with the Rangers. The Twins will host the division champs, Kansas City. The Twins have been very good here at Target Field, and they know exactly what is at stake here in these 3 games.
We need to win today. That's really all we're thinking about, I'd say. I mean, I'm sure if you went and asked all 35, 36 guys, however many are in here, that's probably what they're going to say. Win today and let everything else happen how it's going to happen. We can't control anything other than the game against the Royals.
Spring training, even when I signed, I said, hey, I like this team. I like our chances. We're going to compete. And I've been saying that since day one, and look where we are right now, playing meaningful games, and I love it.
This is who we are. We're a team that just goes out there and tries to win the game that's ahead of us and not worry about anything else. So, hopefully we'll get that win tonight, and then we'll celebrate a little bit in here and then forget about it. And if we lose, we'll forget about it too. We'll just come back the next day. That's just how we've been, and I think that's worked well for us throughout the year.
Tonight it'll be Irvin Santana trying to reel in the Royals. Dick and Bert on Santana's fantastic last 6 after this.
presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. It's come down to this. 3 games left at Target Field. The opening game of a 3-game series with the Kansas City Royals and the Twins very likely needing 3 wins to extend their regular season into the postseason. It'll be Chris Young against Irvin Santana in the series opener. A good Friday evening to you from Target Field. Dick and Bert with you for a key game for the Minnesota Twins. And no, they will not have Irvin Santana available to them should they get to the postseason. But Santana is doing what he can during the regular season to get them there.
Well, this is kind of his post-game season start. He can help the Twins get there, and all he needs to do is do exactly what he's done over the last 6 starts. 5-0, outstanding earned run average, 1.47. And wouldn't he like to win here tonight against a team that he pitched for a couple years ago, those Kansas City Royals? He does a good job of changing speeds, and ever since he had that conversation and workout with Neil Allen in Tampa Bay, he has been lights out.
Twins hoping to finish the regular season with a series sweep over the Royals and set up a potential postseason. As the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. In baseball, success is measured by wins and losses, by postseason appearances and winning titles. 2015 was to be a rebuilding year for the Twins, but they found success both on and off the field, surprising many in the baseball world. And while this season can be seen as a step in the right direction, the want for more is palpable in Twins territory. A potential postseason berth is within reach. Will Minnesota be successful in its quest for more October baseball? We're about to find out. Technically, there is some margin for error, but the best way to approach this is that there is no margin for error. The Twins need to win all 3 games, and then, given that, they still need some help from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Ned Yost knows that his team is in. They've clinched the American League Central Championship. After this series, they'll head home to Kansas City, rest, and wait to see who they'll play starting in Kansas City. Menard's batting order for the Royals, with Alcides Escobar leading things off against Irvin Santana. First pitch lifted foul and out of play. Escobar leading things off. Then the designated hitter Ben Zobrist, Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Alex Rios, Christian Colon, Drew Butera, Gerard Dyson. Some key elements in the Kansas City lineup sitting tonight because of some minor injuries, and there's strike two taken by Escobar.
And it'll be 32-year-old Irvin Santana making his 17th start, his second start against the Royals.
And a nice backhanded play by Dozier, and he throws him out. Dozier with a late lunging reach for that one hopper, and he was able to spear it for the out.
By Escobar hitting this ball sharply up the middle. A backhanded play by Dozier. That ball got to him probably a little quicker than he anticipated. Made another nice play at second base for the first out.
Dozier with a nice play for the first out, and now Ben Zobrist, the designated hitter, and he takes strike one with Santana shaving the outside corner.
Zobrist getting traded over from the Oakland A's to Kansas City in late July.
Off the plate, 1-1.
Santana faced the Royals in Kansas City in his first start since being activated, coming off of that suspension. And he pitched a pretty good ball game. He worked 8 innings, gave up only 2 runs, got a no decision. Twins ended up losing that ball game. Gave up 1 solo home run to Alex Gordon. Struck out 8 in that ball game in the 8 innings.
1-2, and Zobrist takes inside 2-2. Debris in right center field. A baseball came from somewhere. And
Kurt Suzuki just threw Santana.
2-2. And missing inside a full count. Hosmer on deck.
Santana with that slider you just saw right there, moving fastball. He'll work inside, outside, both sides of the plate, up and down. Work the whole strike zone and gets that call outside. Now, Zobrist didn't like the prior one, and it looked pretty good. This time, Zobrist barking at home plate umpire Ron Kolpa, saying that ball's outside.
Kolpa pulled his mask halfway off to continue the discussion.
You see 4 and 5 and then 6. Oh, they're all strikes except for 2. All 2 wasn't a strike.
Royals are already playing shorthanded, and the last thing the Royals need is for Zobrist or anybody else to get tossed out of the ball game. Zobrist appeared to have a legitimate beef. 2 down, and now ball 1.
Well, that tells me as a pitcher, okay, I'm going to pitch inside for a purpose, and if he's going to give me that pitch, that's where I'm going to stay when I need a strike. Right there. No, okay, that's a ball.
And that's the concern, because that looked like every bit of as much of a strike as a couple of them to Zobrist. Foul back, and it's 2-1. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Rosario, the birthday boy, Aaron Hicks, and Torrey Hunter in the outfield. Plouffe, Escobar, Dozier, and Mauer with Suzuki surrounding Irvin Santana. 2-1 to Eric Hosmer.
Happy birthday to Aaron Hicks, and also bullpen coach Eddie Guardado.
3-1. Moustakas on deck.
Hosmer having an outstanding year, hitting .301, 18 home runs. He's driven in 91 runs. Second on the club.
And that's ball 4, and Hosmer will take a 2-out walk. Now Mike Moustakas. Kendrys Morales, who's been having a wonderful year for the Kansas City Royals, had a strained quad muscle, came out of the game yesterday. Might see him as soon as tomorrow. The Royals do have some nicks that they want to get healed before the playoffs start next week. Moustakas chops it to second. And Dozier from the outfield grass finishes a hitless first inning for Irvin Santana. A lot of people to start believing. A remarkable win for the Twins, a come from behind win, final week of the season. Paul Molitor and the Twins are not in control of their own destiny, but they have an enhanced chance to get into the postseason because of a series win in Cleveland. The Menards batting order for the Twins in the opening game of this series. Brian Dozier leading off, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Torrey Hunter, Aaron Hicks, Kurt Suzuki, and Eduardo Escobar.
And that lineup will be facing 6'10", 250-pounder Chris Young, 36 years old. He's making his third start this season against the Twins, 2-1. And with a 1.62 earned run average, he's worked a total of 16 2/3 innings against the Twins. Has allowed only 3 runs.
Ball 1 to Dozier. He'll be followed by Mauer and Sano.
Young will throw everything up there but the kitchen sink. He'll change speeds, and that's the ball you kind of want to lay off of right there.
Fly down the left field line and trying to climb the wall, Alex Gordon. If he can't catch it, it can't be caught.
You know, Young really pitches up. He pitched here earlier this year, pitched a real good ball game against the Twins, and got a lot of the Twins to swing at that ball just above the letters. A lot of pop-ups.
Almost seems as if, you know, for most pitchers, hitters will say we got to get them to get the ball up, and with Young it seems like it's almost the opposite. You've got to get him to bring the ball down and swing it strikes down around the thighs and not up around the waist.
Yeah, he doesn't have an overpowering fastball, doesn't have a lot of movement when it's up there. That's a breaking ball, line foul. He'll mix in a big slow curveball and a changeup. He's been around the game a long time. Came up with the Rangers in 2004 and actually made his major league debut and start against the Twins in Texas when he was with the Rangers.
Blocked by Drew Butera.
Former Twin Drew Butera behind the plate.
Young auditioning for a job with the Royals in spring training, and boy are they ever glad that they kept him. He's among the team leaders in wins. He has shuttled back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen.
Yeah, last year he was the American League Comeback Player of the Year when he was with the Seattle Mariners. He won 12 ball games in 29 starts for the Mariners.
Dozier battling Young. And he strikes out, 1 away.
Good fastball down.
Northland Ford defense for the Kansas City Royals. Alex Gordon as good as it gets in left field. Rod Dyson very speedy in center. He's in for Lorenzo Cain, who's got a bruised kneecap. Veteran Alex Rios in right. Moustakas and Escobar left side of the infield. Colon in at second base. Hosmer at first, and Butera in for Salvador Perez, who may start tomorrow. Here is Mauer with 1 gone in the Twins first. And he takes strike 1.
Twins have just not had a lot of luck against Young. Very good 2.74 ERA and 8 career starts against the Twins. And some of the numbers you would think, you know, Joe Mauer, for example, against Young, just 4 hits in 17 at bats. He has the most at bats against Chris Young.
1-1. You're right, they haven't had good luck, but they haven't hit the ball hard against him either. When he's pitched against the Twins, we've seen a lot of, you know, 2-3 hoppers to the infield, weak little pop-ups. 1-2 to Mauer. 2-2.
Yeah, like I said, he's 6'10", and normally you would think a guy that big would throw probably in the mid-90s, but he's almost the opposite. This guy knows how to pitch. He's made a lot of major league starts.
And he knows how to use his height because he's pretty much an over-the-top guy. On the ground through for a base hit. Mauer's aboard with a 1-out single.
Well, that slider breaking ball right into the swing of Joe, and Joe pulling the ball and getting the first hit of the ball game.
And now Miguel Sano. Sano 0 for 2 against Young.
Twins would like to score early in this ball game.
And Sano lays off that high pitch. Ball 1.
Right-handed hitters hitting only 165 against Young.
And a strike taken, 1-1.
Left-handers hitting 239. Overall, opponents hitting just 203. He has given up 16 home runs in 117 innings pitched.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Young, 36 years old, originally signed by the Pirates back in 2000 out of Princeton University. Had a scholarship to play in the NBA. Decided not to do that and chose baseball over basketball.
Butera with a block good enough to keep Mauer at first. 2-2. Decent crowd on hand here tonight. They're waiting for a reason to get jazzed up. And a foul tip, Sano's still alive.
That's what you like to see, the fans getting into it. See people out in left field. Gate 29 still coming in.
This does have a different feel to it. Fans are bundled up, of course, but the fans understand the magnitude of this series and the importance of it. 2-2 to Sano. High pop up to the right side. Cologne all the way near the foul line, and he makes the catch 2 away.
I think too, Dick, I think fans realize and they remember the 87 and 91, how much they were basically the 10th player for the Twins on the field at the Metrodome.
First year of Target Field, there was playoff baseball, and we got to this part of the year, and fans were bundled up, and of course the ballpark sold out, and the playoff games against the Yankees were held, and it had a very October feel to it in the Metrodome. It's hard to tell whether it was October or June. Indoors, of course. Here's Plouffe. I prefer this. It's a little cool. Ball 1 to Plouffe.
We talked a little bit about it in Cleveland, how the cooler weather just kind of gives you that little extra energy if you're down on that field as a player, especially the pitcher, because you know you go out there every 5th day in hot weather. Boy, when you get the cool weather, you feel stronger.
Plouffe got one up, fouled it back to the screen, 1-1. 86, 87 miles per hour. That's about all Young will bring to you in terms of velocity. Beautiful Friday night here, with so much on the line. Down the middle of strike, and it's 1-2.
He does a good job at changing speeds, works both sides of the plate, almost what I said about Irvin Santana. He has beaten every major league team except the Rangers and the Cincinnati Reds.
That's lifted foul, and it will reach the seats. Royals haven't had a whole lot go right in their pitching department. Some starters have had disappointing years. Greg Holland, their all-star closer, Tommy John surgery today. He's obviously done for this year. Probably won't come back, if at all, till late next year. 1-2.
Royals have used 10 different starters.
But here's something that's gone very right. Young filled kind of a similar capacity with the Seattle Mariners last year. He's fighting for a job in spring training and kind of won one by default, but he had a good enough year team gave him a look. The Royals did, and he's been one of their top winners. 11-6 with an ERA of just over 3.
Yeah, the count is 2-2.
To Plouffe. And a high fly to left. And Gordon near the line. A fair ball catch for the third out. Tyler Duffy was outstanding last night for the Twins again, and he'll join us from the Twins dugout in the second inning. Here, Irvin Santana, tonight's starter, Kyle Gibson, and the starter last night, Tyler Duffy, who was outstanding again. And Tyler's nice enough to join us from the Twins dugout. And of course, being pelted by sunflower seeds, he'll put up with that and give us a really great
standard procedures.
Tyler, how's your arm feel? And if the fates have it that you'll get another start next week, you're going to be ready to, well, here's a drive to deep center field. First pitch, and Gordon smashes one very high off the wall. It's in the ballpark, and it's a double on the first pitch of the second inning.
But he hit that about as far as you can without going out of the ballpark, right on top of the scoreboard in right center field. Gordon jumping on that first pitch, hitting his 17th double of the year. Take a look at the pitch from Santana. Pretty much right there. Gordon, good sweet swing right there. He missed 48 ball games earlier this year.
Challenge.
And then Yost is going to come out and ask for an umpire review of a ball that appeared to hit off the top of the scoreboard, not off the top of the wall. And they'll go ahead and take a look at it. But I think our replay showed that it hit off the top of the scoreboard about 1.5 feet below the top of the wall. We'll take another look at it. The Royals don't have anything to lose here.
Watch the ball. They got that little railing just on the other side, and that's what it hit off of. Did not go over that yellow line or into the plant area.
Well, Tyler, let's imagine that the Twins are playing baseball after Sunday.
Yeah.
If asked, your arm feels well enough to go?
Absolutely. You know, they gave me some rest in between a couple starts here, I guess, over the past month. You know, feel good. Went out and did everything like normal today. And, you know, if I get the chance, I'm definitely going to go for it.
Hey, Tyler, you started at AA, Chattanooga.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any notion that, hey, I might be pitching in the big leagues later in the year?
No, not at all. You know, I got invited to spring training. You know, that was pretty cool. Just to have that experience. Had no expectations of that this year, even get close to here. But, you know, here I'm getting to pitch in some important games, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
You know, a lot of times I know when I first came to spring training, I learned so much from watching the veterans go about their work. Was that something, spring training as a non-roster player, that you went into with your your ears open and your mouth shut?
Absolutely. You know, all I ever heard was, you know, soak it up as much as you can. And at spring training, that's pretty much all I did. I watched a lot of bullpens. Watched Irvin actually throw quite a bit. You know, just try to pick up any little thing that I could to help me. You know, I think I learned a lot, and then I'm learning a lot here every day. So it's been a great opportunity.
Down and away, 2-1.
Where'd you learn your curveball?
A guy named Nathan Mitchell, when I was about 13 or 14, taught me it, and thrown the same one ever since. Haven't messed with it. Don't plan on trying to change it either.
I wouldn't either.
Strike call, 2-2.
Well, you know what? And you change speeds. I know you don't throw a lot of straight changeups, but your curveball is almost like a changeup.
Right. That's I've always tried to toy with that a little bit. You know, slow it down, speed it up. You know, and it makes more pitches of one pitch for me. And it helps me because I can flip one in there early or behind in the count to get back into it, and then I can put guys away with it. You know, put a little more on it. You know, it's a few different pitches for me.
Well, you just saw that strikeout right there, Tyler. And you know what? We've seen you in your starts seem like when you need a strikeout, you go to that good breaking ball, the curveball.
Right.
Now, right there, Santana went to the slider.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big out because it keeps Gordon at second base.
Right.
Now there's one out.
Yeah. No, that's one of the big things. I mean, you know, being a closer in college, I think I got that attitude about, you know, trying to get after guys and strike them out. And I think I'd kind of go back to that once I get runners in scoring position. Try and turn that on and get the punch out when you need them.
Now, you when you signed with the Twins, you basically worked out of the bullpen. But the following year, you were in the starting rotation. What determined that? Do you have any idea?
I think they thought going into it I was going to be a starter. You know, obviously I came out of college and went to the bullpen in rookie ball just because there's no sense in becoming a starter after that. But straight out of spring training, you know, they had me going, stretching me out to get me into innings and things like that. So, you know, I think it's worked out for me so far.
It certainly has.
Pop up right side, should be out number 2. Mauer comes in. Dozier comes in. And Santana's 1 out away from pitching around the leadoff double. How good of a closer were you at Rice?
I had my moments. I mean, I had some where I was the scapegoat, but you know, it was fun. I got better and better at it every year. I mean, when I was a freshman, I kind of got thrown into it because I threw strikes. You know, and I threw a little too many strikes sometimes. So, but then, I think it ended up helping me. You know, the demeanor when I go out there and pitch. You know, to go back to that and try and get guys out quick and strike guys out. It's definitely something I still use today.
You know, you remind me of me a little bit. Oh, here's a ground ball. We'll get into that later. And I'm sorry that you do remind me of me.
Hey, Tyler Duffy, you've done that a few times. You've pitched around a leadoff double. Santana did it, and we appreciate the time.
for either team yet. I asked Minnesota hitting coach Tom Brunansky about the approach tonight on Kansas City's long and lanky pitcher Chris Young, and Bruno said that we have to be really specific about what we're trying to do tonight in the pitch count that we're looking for, the situations that we're looking for. He said Young has really lost a little bit of his velocity, but he has enough to get hitters out, and we can't get too happy at the plate. I asked him to explain what that meant. He said, well, get a false sense of security. Like, you see, he's only throwing about 86 miles an hour, and you think, I got this. Well, guys can tend to relax in that situation, get overly confident. He said, you do that, and Young will get you, and that makes for a long night at the plate. Dickenberg, Tom Brunansky, and how Twins hitters need to approach Chris Young tonight.
They'd like to get that pitch count up. Thank you, Marty.
Oh, back here's a guy who I think should be able to handle Young, because he can handle anything between his eyes and his toes.
Well, and he does a good job on using the whole field too. You know, so many times we've seen Rosario maybe a little out front with his body, but he keeps his hands back nicely.
2-1. In Young's last start against the Indians, it was an emotional night for him. He found out the night before that his father, at the age of 70, succumbed to cancer and passed away. And Young wanted to take the mound and pitch, and he certainly did that with a heavy heart. He pitched 5 hitless innings, and then because of a pitch count and pitch count alone, he came out of the ball game against the Indians. 2-2 to Rosario. And it's past Hosmer, and a base hit. Rosario with a turn. He'll hold up there. I've seen Hosmer make plays like that so often. I expected him to make that one.
Well, that ball was hit extremely hard right there. It was a fastball about letter high, and Rosario just turned on it very quickly. And a one-hopper past Hosmer, the Gold Glove first baseman. You can see it land right in front of him. That ball had some hook on it.
So Rosario gets a leadoff hit, and now Torrey Hunter will bat. That gets by Butera, and Rosario will go to second base. See too many of those go through the 5-hole with Butera there. He's a really good defensive catcher, but that one skipped through to the backstop.
Well, when this ball landed, I believe either on the top of home plate or just in front, and sometimes the rotation, the spin of the ball, you think it's going to go one way or come up, and we'll take a look right here. This landed right in front of home plate. I think Drew was expecting it to come up a little bit, stayed down, went right through the wickets. And for Young, his 5th wild pitch of the year.
Popped up, and Hunter slams his bat down. Escobar will have the play.
Well, that's the fastball right there that Young has really controlled the Twins offense because of that high fastball. You know, as a hitter, that ball is coming right at you. You can see the whole ball. And it's not at 95, it's at 87, 88. You want to hit it so hard, you get underneath it, and did exactly what Torrey did, popped it straight up. So not a good at-bat for Torrey.
And now Hicks, 2 for 4 against Young, and this is Aaron's 26th birthday. See what he can do to celebrate.
It went to Eddie Guardado on the bullpen.
A big good start. Inside, ball 1. Twins are playing here against the Royals, and then a little later on, the Astros will be playing in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. They'll be doing so without a designated hitter. They're playing, obviously, by National League rules. 1-0 to Hicks. Base hit up the middle. Rosario around third, and Hicks on his 26th birthday gives the Twins a 1-0 lead.
He waited back very nicely on that pitch by Young and hit it right back up the middle, driving in his 33rd run. And the wild pitch comes back and helps the Twins. And Aaron Hicks picking up an RBI. Not a lot of movement on that fastball, stayed about belt high. And a good solid swing by Aaron Hicks, taking it right back up the middle, and Rosario, he scores easily.
By the time the Twins landed in the middle of the night last night after the night game in Cleveland, they had already analyzed Chris Young's delivery and looked at possibilities for the Twins to maybe steal a base. We'll see if that's on their minds here with Hicks at first and one away. And he goes on the first pitch, and it looked like a hit and run with Suzuki flipping one foul.
Yeah, runners this year against Young, 7 stolen bases in 8 attempts.
That looked like a hit and run, though, figuring Young's around the plate.
Yep.
And a good opportunity for Suzuki to hit one through the right side. He just missed it. Butera thrown out 4 of 11 stolen base attempts. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And you just saw Young there use the slide step, not a big leg kick.
And of course, Drew Butera behind the plate. Very, very good throwing arm.
Two strikes to Suzuki. And a ball.
Suzuki 3 hits in 13 at bats with a home run against Young.
And a base hit to left. Hicks to second. 4 hits for the Twins in their first 8 plate appearances, all of them singles.
Every pitch away right there, and another pitch left up a little bit by Young, and Kurt Suzuki turning on it and finding that hole between third and short. And Hicks stops at second. Butera sitting away.
Well, Young can't live there. That's, I mean, right down the middle of the plate and thigh high. Young, who didn't give up a hit in his last start in 5 innings against the Indians, has given up 4 early ones to the Twins here tonight, and now Escobar.
I thought it was a great little segment that Marnie did on Eduardo Escobar, what he has meant to the Twins this year, getting a chance to play, but what he brings to the ballpark day in and day out, his personality, a joyful young man. Loves to play the game of baseball.
1 strike.
Thought I was talking about Santa Claus there for a second when I said joyful. Where did that come from?
Well, it's not inaccurate.
No.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Escobar just 1 hit in 8 at bats against Young. He picked up that big double in last night's win over the Indians down that third baseline.
Foul tip, and Butera hangs on. 2 away, and that'll bring up Dozier.
And Young picks up his 2nd strikeout. So first time through the batting order, Twins have 1 run on 4 hits. Ball right there, but Escobar got a piece of it, but right into the glove of Butera.
See, he missed. Young did his target by more than a foot, but still got the strikeout. Here's Dozier, went down swinging in the first. And pulled to Moustakas, who'll go to the bag. And a forced play there. The Twins with 3 singles and the game's first run. Aaron Hicks driving it in, and it's 1-0. Presented by Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. 1-0 Twins, and Gerard Dyson will lead things off. He takes strike one from Irvin Santana. Royals got a leadoff double in the second, but Santana pitched out of it.
Yeah, Dyson, you want to take the bunt away, and that's what Trevor Plouffe and Joe Mauer are doing, playing in.
1-1. Lorenzo Cain's got a bruised kneecap. Might be in the lineup tomorrow afternoon. The ball hit to right center field. Hunter's going to have to hustle. And he will cut the ball off, and Dyson is held to a double. Another leadoff double for the Royals. And if Hunter hadn't cut that ball off, Dyson would have had at least a triple.
Yeah, it's off to the races for the speedster Dyson. Nice swing right here. Looks like a breaking ball that it just went down and just hit it right into right center. Torrey has to get over there quickly. Does cut it off. And Dyson with his 7th double of the year.
Now Alcides Escobar hit a ground ball to Dozier his first time up. Dyson capable of stealing third base.
Yep, take the bunt away. Yep.
Santana will scoop it, and he put the tag on him, I think. No, they're saying no tag. And Santana made the decision to reach for the tag. And the first base umpire, Larry Vanover, was in the worst possible position to determine whether Santana put the tag on Escobar's back. And they're going to take a look at it here and try to. Right there, he got him on the left shoulder blade. Yep. So that'll be challenged in reverse.
That will not take very long. It should not. Well, that's hard because, you know, as a first base umpire, you don't see that. You could, if anything, ask for the home plate umpire to help him out. But he definitely got the back of Escobar for the first out. It should be a sacrifice bunt for Escobar, advancing Dyson to third base.
Now, not taking any chances here. Santana's going to stay loose. Remember the challenge the Twins had early in the ball game in Cleveland. It lasted 4.5 minutes, and Mike Pelfrey did not do what Irvin Santana is doing here, just keeping his arm loose. And then when play resumed, Pelfrey's first pitch was a wild pitch that scored a run.
Yeah, Mike threw one pitch, you know, in the 4.5 minute delay, and it's kind of lobbed in. So they do get it right. Escobar comes in off the field, but Dyson stays at third base.
A sacrifice bunt for Escobar. Zobrist at the plate with the tying run at third and one away.
Early in the ball game, Twins infield will play back.
Zobrist called out on strikes, and as he left home plate, argued with Ron Kulpa about pitches that seemed to be outside that were called strikes. And now Santana misses inside. Ball one. Two and 0. Tying run at third, one away. Santana would like to get a strikeout or a pop-up. 3-0. Hosmer on deck.
Zobrist will probably have the green light right here if it's to his liking. 10-year major league veteran. Good hitter from both sides of the plate. The ball misses away.
4-pitch walk.
Second walk for Santana.
Today's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And since August 30th, Irvin Santana with an ERA of less than 1.5. Twins know all about Cody Anderson. Well, Arrieta may be the National League Cy Young Award winner.
What's nice about Santana, it's a 1.47 ERA, but in the 6 starts, 43 innings. So he's averaging, you know, over 7 innings of start, and that's important.
Strike over the inside corner.
Now he needs a double play right here, and Santana has had 9 double plays turned behind him so far.
Hosmer's hit into 16. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
And he has struck out about once every 5 at-bats, maybe 6 at-bats, right in that range.
Hosmer just under 600 at-bats, but over 100 strikeouts.
Right.
Big spot here for Santana, trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead. 0-2 to Hosmer.
Mentioned earlier, Santana, a former Royal back in 2013. He worked 211 innings for the Royals that year. Won 9 ball games, lost 10. Good ERA.
And Suzuki couldn't quite hang on to the foul pit.
Good breaking ball down, and Hosmer just got a piece of it. And that's what we see in the strikeout pitch for Santana. We talk about Duffy's curveball, where Santana, it's that good slider down and in. Right like that. Hosmer again fouled it off.
Quite a battle here. Santana needing the strikeout, and Hosmer wasting a couple of good pitches.
Santana's always been a strikeout pitcher in his career. Almost 1,600 strikeouts. He's averaged just over 7 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Another 0-2. Another foul ball, this time with a fastball.
Tried to sneak the fastball, maybe up and in. He just left it out a little bit, and Hosmer fouled it off.
3 2-strike fouls for Hosmer.
Now, do they go back with another fastball in, or go back to the slider?
Dug out by Suzuki, 1-2.
Nice block by Kurt.
Royals won their game yesterday, but they're coming off a September that was very disappointing for them. 11-17. Back-to-back games, only twice in the month of September. 1-2 to Hosmer. Now 2-2, again blocked by Suzuki.
That's a pretty good take right there by Hosmer.
Just a good at bat.
Yeah. He's driven in 91 runs this year.
Eighth pitch of the at bat. Just missed the inside corner, and it's a full count. Hosmer walked in the first inning. Zobrist walked on 4 pitches in front of this plate appearance.
And he's walked 58 times in 589 plate appearances.
Moustakas on deck. Big pitch by Santana. Tap to the right side. Mauer gets the out at second. Return throw not in time. And Escobar's throw headed for Marty Gellner. It'll be an error. A run will score. And Hosmer will end up at second base. Marty, did you get that one?
Per usual, Dick, I used my hard dive to the right move. So no, I bailed out of that. The security guard in front of me actually deflected it.
Yeah, an error. And then right here, you're not going to turn 2 right here. Joe Mauer, you see him on the run, feed it to Escobar, and then Escobar just airmailing it over first base. So it'll be the 6th error of the year for Escobar. He's done a great job at short.
And now Moustakas with the go-ahead run at second. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Hosmer will get an RBI on that fielder's choice.
And he should. That was a good at bat. Fell behind 0-2. He fouled off 3 pitches, then took 3 pitches to fill the count, and ended up driving the run in. 1 strike to Moustakas. Popped up center field. Hicks over to end the inning. Royals get their second leadoff double and eventually the game-tying run. Minnesota. Can you discover the history and culture of the Ojibwe band at the Mille Lacs Indian Museum and Trading Post? And enter the fascinating world of Ojibwe culture at the Mille Lacs Indian Museum and Trading Post. Life-size diorama depicts everyday activities of the band of the 19th century, living in teepees, cooking, making clothing. Visit exploreminnesota.com. Discover a world that's only in Minnesota. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with hashtag #OnlyInMN. Dyson with a double. Hosmer driving him in from third. We're tied at 1. Joe Mauer will lead off the bottom of the third inning. Pitches up, ball 1.
Yeah, Joe singled in the first inning. First hit of the ball game. Twins picked up 3 hits in the second inning, scored just 1 run. Hicks' RBI single.
On the ground, backhanded by Cologne. 1 down. Game 2 of the series with the Angels and the Rangers in the bottom of the third inning. The Rangers trailing 1-0. The Rangers know that they are in the playoffs, hoping to clinch a division championship. One down. And now Miguel SANO hit a very tall pop-up, caught by Cologne in the first inning. Swing and a miss. As the season's progressed and the possibility of a tie for the wild card spot that could involve the Angels might also involve the Astros. 1 strike. 1-1. It was said that it would be possible for a team to play 5 games in 5 days in 5 different cities, and that team could be the Twins. Up and in. Twins will play here on Sunday. If there's a 3-way tie, they more than likely will play in Houston on Monday. If they win that game, they'll come back here and play the Angels on Tuesday. And if they win that game, they'll go to New York. There's a big fly. My goodness, this is as high as I've seen a baseball hit. Not very far, but very high. 2 down.
That might have hit the roof at the Oval Dome.
The Twins then, if they were to win against the Yankees Wednesday in the wild card game, could end up in Toronto on Thursday. So it would be 5 games in 5 days in 5 different cities.
Hope they all have frequent flyer numbers.
2 down, and here's Trevor Plouffe. Hit a fly to left his first time up. If the Twins end up in a tie for the wild card with Houston, they would host Houston here on Monday. Fouled back. If the Twins finish in a tie with the Angels and the Angels only, they would go out to the West Coast and play the Angels on Monday because of the head-to-head advantage that the Angels had on the Twins in the regular season. Weak ground ball hit to short. Escobar gobbles it up, and Young has his best inning. A quick 1-2-3 third. Lineup likely will be tomorrow. Our Sanford Health injury report giving you the rundown on Kane, Perez, and Morales. Of the 3 injuries, Morales potentially, I guess, the biggest concern. If it slows him down, it would be hard for anybody to notice, but still, left quad injury. He's on base an awful lot. You know, he hits for a high average, gets a lot of doubles.
Well, it's important for the Royals when they won a division. They can do this. You know, you have little minor injuries. Hey, sit them down for either today or tomorrow. Have them ready for postseason. That's their main goal.
1 strike to Gordon, who clobbered the first pitch he saw on the second, nearly out of the ballpark for a home run, and now that foul hacked just over the right shoulder of Alex Rios.
And speaking of groin injuries or quad injuries or groin injuries, put down Gordon for a while. Missed 48 ball games.
Up and away, 1-2. Royals didn't miss a beat. And missing 2-2.
Good take right there.
We saw Hosmer take some of those sliders down and in.
Well, they were on the defense watching Santana pitch for a whole year, and they know that he likes that slider.
Tap to the right side.
Good pitch right there.
1 down.
Took a little off away. Gordon a little out front. Traded that ground ball out.
We may have postseason baseball here at Target Field. You can get tickets. They're on sale now to any Division Series games played here, and all you have to do is visit twinsbaseball.com. Pick up your tickets to October. There will not be a wild card game here. The Yankees are in the first wild card chair. Swing and a miss, and have the advantage over the Twins should they get there. So if the Twins are in the wild card game, it would be in New York. And so the earliest the Twins could have a postseason game would be in the Division Series. But again, there may be a game 163 here. There may be a game 164.
Yeah, they got to win here tonight. That's the biggest thing.
Popped up, backing out of play.
Santana doing a good job. He did give up a run last inning, but 6 ground ball outs, a couple fly ball outs to go with his 2 strikeouts.
Rios with his strikeout in the second inning, now just 4 for 34 against the Twins this year.
And Santana needs to do exactly what he's done over his last 6 starts. He did not have an outing where he gave up 2 or more than 2 runs. And went deep into the ball game. Good running fastball in, and Rios fouling it off.
Santana's given up 2 leadoff doubles, but that he was able to pitch around the one in the second inning, largely to the fact that he struck out Rios right after the double. Now fouled off the end of the bat. Royals were interested in Irvin Santana as a free agent in the offseason. They were also interested in Torrey Hunter. Their consolation prize for not getting Hunter was getting Alex Rios. 1-2. That's hook foul.
Well, remember in middle of April, Rios was here and J.R. Graham came in and threw the first pitch inside to Rios, ended up fracturing his left hand. Missed the rest of April. Almost all of May is activated on May 30th.
Santana working ahead, 1-2. Rios swinging at everything, gets another foul ball.
Rios the last couple of years with the Texas Rangers, originally with the Blue Jays. He's in his 12th season at the major league level.
High fly behind third base. Escobar chasing it. Rosario there, and it's Plouffe making the catch. 2 down. Rios finally retired. That'll bring up Colon. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use North Data Strong Fan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Colon popped up to Dozier, leaving Gordon at second base again in the second inning. toward the seats and back into the 1 strike.
Yeah, Cologne, 26 years old. He was the Royals' #1 pick back in 2010 out of Cal State Fullerton. And the guy receiving the ball from Santana, also out of Cal State Fullerton, Kurt Suzuki.
On the ground, backhanded nicely by Plouffe. Fine play, a chest-high throw, and it's a 1-2-3 4th inning. Rosario, who singled his first time up and scored, will lead off the 4th. A timeless moment on this date 11 years ago, 2004. The Twins game against Cleveland at the Metrodome was suspended with the score tied 5-5 after 11 innings because the Metrodome ground crew had to have time to prepare the field for a Gopher football game. The game was completed the next day. 6-5 walk-off win for the Twins. And the Twins went on to win their 3rd straight division championship that year.
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Eddie Rosario with a single to right and a run scored. Hunter and Hicks will follow. Twins with 4 singles against Young. 3 of them in the 2nd inning when they scored their run. Rosario led off the inning with a sharp single to right.
Yeah, good changeup by Young, changing up right there to Rosario, and Rosario swinging through it. 50 pitches now for Young. 34 strikes.
1 strike. And now in the dirt. Shin-Soo Choo's just homered for the Texas Rangers. That game now tied at 1. The bottom of the 4th. And fouled away. Scoring first in the 2nd, but the Royals came right back in the 3rd inning to tie it up. Foul back.
Young played basketball at Princeton, was offered a contract to play basketball for the Sacramento Kings, but then he chose baseball. Signed for the Pirates, came up to the big leagues with the Rangers. He's pitched for 5 different major league teams.
Lifted to right. Retreating is Rios for the catch. 1 away. Angels had a 1-0 lead until Shin-Soo Choo, awfully hot for the Rangers as of late, blasted one to center field.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a changeup from Weaver or that's his fastball now.
They
said, he's only throwing maybe 83, 84 miles an hour. But he's out there battling.
Here's Hunter, popped to short. And a pitch up, ball one.
And that's the one that got him out in his first at bat. He jumped on that high fastball and popped it straight up.
Strike.
A little cutter right there by Young.
Torrey going with a little goatee, and there's a little gray in the goatee. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Tapper left side. Moustakas picks it up, 2 down. We'll bring up Hicks. Final weekend of the regular season, the Royals trying to secure the league's best record against the Twins team with so much more on the line. Coverage starts 11:30 Central only on Fox. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You can check local listings for the game in your area. You and I get tomorrow off. I'm coming anyway to the game. I'm going to be a fan. I might have a hot dog. I might have a beer.
Oh, no.
Here's Hicks. Strike one. Hicks drove in a run with a single in the second inning. One and one.
Hicks born 26 years ago in St. Pedro, California. It's the Twins' #1 pick in 2008.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Twins had 4 singles in the first 8 at bats, and now Young's retired 7 men in a row.
There's Eddie Guardado celebrating his 100th birthday here today.
Oh, now come on.
Okay, 45. Happy birthday, Eddie. One of the all-time best Twins closers.
Twins Hall of Famer. 2-2 to Hicks. Up the middle, and gathered in by Escobar. Caught him at first on a close play. Really good play by Escobar. We'll see if the Twins challenge it. Paul Molitor is out of the dugout quickly. I think they're pretty sure they're going to challenge this.
That was a bang play right there. I think the Twins, like Paul, is out on the turf right there to see it. Escobar, nice play, spins and throws.
He's out, I think. To me, like Hosmer caught the ball before Hicks's. Yep, and the Twins won't challenge it. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Chris Young, and we head to the 5th, tied at 1. High fly left field, deep left field. Butera lifting it towards Rosario. One away. And one pitch. One out here in the 5th inning.
That's what you like to see, too. Santana, both starters are settled down nicely, but on one pitch, one out.
Dyson will hit, but first our Mountain Dew fans of the game sporting the Twins Zubas. Special promotion given to select fans who bought a certain ticket package. Dyson takes up high, ball 1. Dyson went down and dug out a pitch below the knees, it appeared. Cracked a double to right center field and eventually scored the tying run in the 3rd. 1-1.
Yeah, Santana's only given up 2 hits, both of them doubles. A couple strikeouts, a couple walks. Pitch count good.
Inside 2-1.
He's averaged 15 pitches per inning. Came into this inning with 60.
Strike call.
This is all fastball so far, not that breaking ball.
Right.
And a guy you want to keep off the bases. A lot of stolen bases in his young career.
Foul. The Twins are playing a regular season game. This is not a playoff game, but it feels like it because of what's at stake. And the Twins breaking out the bunting you normally only see for playoff games or World Series games, adding to the significance of this game.
Red, white, and blue kind of matches everybody's hat here tonight.
Yeah. 3-2 to Dyson. 1 gone in the 5th. It's hit to right center again. Hicks is over. And he traps it. And Dyson has 2, and he'll hold up with his 2nd double. Not hit nearly as well as the first one, but from a Kansas City perspective, hit in a really good spot.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Aaron Hicks, I was watching, we got a great view where our booth is. I thought Aaron Hicks was going to catch up to this, but fastball, Dyson hitting it. You see where Aaron's playing a little bit to left field, and he dives right here and just comes up a bit short. And you see Torrey Hunter backing up the play, but the ball does get knocked down, and Dyson now with 8 doubles on the year.
Escobar bunted Dyson to 3rd after his leadoff double in the 3rd inning, and now a ground ball hit to short.
Ooh.
Juggled by Escobar, and he's lucky to make the play for out number 2.
That ball came up a little bit. Escobar stayed with it and got the out at first.
Zobrist will bat with 2 down. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. And now Zobrist walked on 4 pitches his last time up, struck out on 6 of them in the 1st. On the outside corner.
Zobrist, a 2-time All-Star in 2009 and 13, both of them when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays.
1-1.
Started this season with the Oakland A's, then traded over from Oakland to Kansas City on July 28th.
He's 3 for 20 against Santana. This is an awfully big at bat here with 2 outs and a man a 3rd. Pulled foul, and it's 1-2.
That's the adding and subtracting. We talked about what Santana does, also what Chris Young do. Try to keep the hitter off balance. 86-mile-an-hour pitch, pulled foul.
1-2 to Ben Zobrist. Missed outside. 2-2. Santana trying to pick up win number 8 in what might be his last performance in a Twins uniform this year. Ineligible for postseason play, would be eligible for game 163 or 164. Look foul.
Santana very disappointed on what happened out of spring training when he tested positive for PES or PEDs, performance enhancing drugs.
2-2 to Zobrist. Nubbed back to the mound, and Santana with a flip to Mauer. Dyson left at third, and we're still tied at 1.
Fifth inning at Target Field. We're in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle. We have $100 worth of scratch-off tickets for Richard from McGregor, Minnesota, who claims he is the Twins super fan. Put your sign down a little bit, Richard. We got to be able to see what the super fan looks like.
All right.
What makes you the super fan?
Well, we always come to the game and stuff like that, and I cheer them to beat a heck, you know.
You told me you were responsible for the first run tonight. How was that?
That was good. I says I don't want him to bunt tonight. I want him to get a base hit, and that was great.
He got the base hit.
He got the base hit, is right.
What are you going to do to get us a couple more? Well, we need those.
We'll get a couple of home runs out of Hunter. It would get him going tonight. I hope. And Brian Dozier, I think he's going to come through tonight for us too.
Okay, you got it all figured out.
Yes, I do.
I like it.
Super fan, super optimistic fan. I love it.
I do too.
Gotta love that power positive thinking. Let's hope it works out for him.
McGregor, Minnesota, about 15 minutes south of Libby and about 15 minutes east of Haslett.
Oh, Libby.
Yeah. A little bit, maybe 20 minutes or so outside of Aiken, Minnesota. A strike, and now a ball to Suzuki. He'll be followed by Eduardo Escobar and then Brian Dozier.
Now, if you're from Aiken and say you have your back hurts or something, and somebody says, "How you feeling?" I say, "Well, I'm kind of aching."
Yeah, it's AITKIN.
Doesn't matter. It's what it sounds like.
Liner caught by Moustakas, one away.
A soft line drive right there for the first out, and 9 in a row retired by Chris Young.
Escobar will bat, but first our Carsoup.com trivia question. Who are the 3 men to manage the Royals in the World Series? Well, Ned Yost would be one, wouldn't he? And I know the other two.
And you go back to 85.
And then before that, 1980. I know all 3 of them. 1 strike to Escobar. Struck out his first time up. Escobar came up with runners at first and second. Twins already had a run on the board. What we've seen from Escobar, well, we can talk about the 31 doubles and some big hits along the way. The reason they're big is his batting average is so good late in the ball game. He might strike out again here. But if he's up again in the 7th inning, here's a high fly down the right field line. And a foul ball.
Yeah, Escobar stayed at home plate. He knew he had hooked it. But that's the pitch that we have seen him really do a good job of. The pitch that's down about around the shin areas. Really likes to drop the bat. And good contact down.
1-2.
And Butera wanting that pitch up, and it was a little bit too high.
You'd agree, wouldn't you? I mean, we've seen Escobar 0 for 1, 0 for 2, but then boy, those third and fourth at bats, that's when he has his best at bats.
I agree.
2-2.
See, the Royals are trying to pitch him up in the zone because they've seen where, you know, he likes that ball down from both sides of the plate. Escobar hitting over 260 from both sides. 261 as a lefty coming into the ball game. 265 as a right-handed hitter.
And he takes a walk.
Good walk. First walk for Chris Young. And that ends a streak of 9 straight retired.
And he'll get back into the stretch position. Next year's season tickets are on sale now. You can secure your 2016 ticket to summer today owning Twin season tickets. That gives you much more than just a guaranteed seat. Season ticket holders enjoy exclusive rewards as part of the Sweet Spot benefits program. Learn more about package options by visiting twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS.
Now that gentleman that we just circled, he mentioned Brian Dozier, that he's going to help the Twins win. And here is Brian Dozier.
Taking a strike inside. Dozier struck out in the first and hit a ground ball to Moustakas in the second.
Not a lot of hits in this ball game. Twins have 4, Royals have 3.
We've seen Brian a few times. In fact, he got an infield hit yesterday. Just grounding the ball to the right side, which, given the shifts that he's facing, will give him some base hits.
Yeah, that base hit yesterday. Remember, Santana went after the ball, and Shaw was a pitcher. He was a late getting over there, but it was an infield base hit for Brian.
High fly to left. And Gordon.
And that's what Brian is doing a lot over the last week. Just getting underneath it and hitting a lot of pop-ups.
We saw that last year too. Brian kind of having same type of year this year as last. A much better first than second half. And now Mauer with Escobar at first and 2 down.
Still leads the club with 28 runs or home runs. Brian Dozier.
Mauer with a single to right and a ground ball to second. Of course, what the Twins would like here is for Mauer to get a double, but he will very likely not get one to left center because this is where the Royals have played him for the last 3 years. A speedy center fielder. In this case, it's Dyson, who's even faster, I think, than Lorenzo Cain. And Alex Gordon, since being converted to an outfielder, has probably taken about 40 hits away from Joe Mauer.
And you see where he's shading him down that left field line.
Almost certainly won't be a double to left or left center. Now, we've seen Mauer pull the ball twice here against Young, a single in the first and then the ground ball to Colon. If he can pull the ball over Hosmer into the corner, he might get a triple.
Yeah, Joe with 10 home runs on the year. He hit one in game 1 in Cleveland. 6 of his 10 home runs have come here at Target Field.
1-0. And a strike.
Ball was right down the middle. Again, Young has given up 16 home runs, 8 to right-handed hitters, 8 to left-handed hitters.
One and one.
I think that's 16.
To center. And Dyson's there to make the catch. Pretty well hit ball for the 15th out. We head to the 6th, tied at 1. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's, the classic quarter pounder with cheese, only at McDonald's, and right now just $3. Pretty evenly played game. Each team will have its third place hitter leading off the 6th inning. For the Royals, that's Eric Hosmer. He's just taken ball 1. And now ball 2.
Yeah, both pitchers doing a good job. Santana right now 77 pitches. And Chris Young, after 5 innings, 76 pitches. So both of them averaging about 15 pitches per inning.
And now 3-0. Hosmer walked in the 2nd inning, or in the 1st inning, after the 2nd out. Ended up driving in the Kansas City run with a ground ball to the right side. And now 3-1. Right call. Royals, as we said, had played well in September, starting pitching a big issue for them, but and Hosmer patting his chest, saying to his former teammate, "Hey, my bad." 3-1. And a walk will put Hosmer aboard.
3rd walk for Santana.
Moustakas with a ground ball to second and a fly to center will hit next.
And surprisingly, Santana only has a couple strikeouts.
Well, he's had 2 strikes on some hitters that have seen him for a while, and they seem to be able to recognize that slider and not offer at it. Strike over the inside corner.
Quite a turnaround season for Mike Moustakas, hitting .282 coming into the ball game, 22 home runs. Hit only .212 last year for the Royals.
Swing and a miss. You know, one thing though that we admired about the Royals through Moustakas' struggles, and Hosmer, you know, his wasn't a steady climb to where he is now. He had some disappointing years. They were players that in the field could still help the Royals win ball games. Just missed inside 1 and 2.
Well, they're almost, you go back to the '82 ball club for the Twins, that they let them play. Yeah, maybe, you know, they didn't succeed at the beginning, but eventually, with more major league at bats, they got better.
1 and 2. 2 and 2. I think that's what we've seen from the Twins this year. Whether they get to postseason play or not, there are more players that can help them win ball games when they're not hitting. Guys like Hicks in center, Rosario in left, Plouffe at 3rd. Dozier became that player last year, I think. It's hit to center. Hicks will track it and make a nice running catch in the gap. A big-time catch for Aaron Hicks on the run.
Yeah, that was a bullet right there off the bat of Moustakas, and Aaron Hicks kind of cut across and then went back and made a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Moustakas getting this ball right on the butt. Aaron Hicks cuts across, goes back, makes a nice catch right here. Look at the eyes, look at the concentration. And right into the center of the glove for the 1st out.
And now Gordon clubbed a double leading off the 2nd with left on the bases, and then leading off the 4th hit a ground ball to 2nd. Inside, ball 1. They're underway in Arizona with the Astros batting in the first of that 3-game series. Two 2-0. You might have been, up until this point, indifferent about the Arizona Diamondbacks not caring one way or the other whether they win or lose. But if you're a Twins fan this weekend, you want them to win. Lifted foul and out of play.
Well, I just look at the, you know, we don't see Arizona maybe but once every 3 or 4 years. But right now, you know, they're in 3rd place. They're not going anywhere, but they have won 7 out of their last 10 ball games.
And they've scored a lot of runs. They've got a lineup that can do some damage. And the Astros, of course, will play without a designated hitter. or maybe more to the point, their pitchers will have to bat. 2-1. Lifted to left and deep. Rosario back near the warning track, has room. 2 down.
So coming into the inning, Santana had 9 ground ball outs, only 4 fly ball outs, but a couple fly ball outs here in the 6th inning.
And now Rios, who has struck out and fouled out. The Twins have pitched him really well this year, apart from hitting him in the hand. In April, he has just 4 hits and 35 at bats against Twins pitching. So no foul. I mentioned this is just a regular season game, but it feels like a playoff game, and it's being played like one. Playoff games almost always are decided. The biggest hits are after the 5th inning, and we've had a 1-1 game, and 2 teams just kind of measuring each other out. There goes Hosmer, and Suzuki's throw not nearly in time.
Well, Hosmer got a great jump off of Santana. Not a guy you would expect to take off, but he does steal his 7th base in 10 attempts. So, guy, you can see him right there. Santana did not make him stop. He just kind of took a walking lead and slid in safely into second in the scoring position with 2 outs.
1-1 now to Rios. 2-1.
And the Royals like to run. That's their 103rd stolen base. They've been caught only 34 times. But that was good base running right there by Hosmer.
2-1. 3-1. Cologne on deck.
See how Santana wants to work Rios right here, even though he has struggled against him. You can see where Kansas City is in the stolen base department in both leagues, but you have an inexperienced hitter on deck. You don't want to make a mistake right here.
3-1 to Rios.
And he throws him a good slider down and away. This is crunch time right here from the 6th inning on. You don't want to make a mistake.
And Santana already made one by issuing a leadoff walk. 3-2 to Rios. Line to Plouffe. That ends the 6th inning. Royals have left 5 runners on, 4 of them in scoring position, and it's still 1-1. Innings and just 1 run allowed. And the Astros with a 1st inning run. Colby Rasmus with an RBI single. Rasmus in center field for Carlos Gomez, who retweaked that intercostal strain he's been dealing with. The Astros have struck first in the desert. Chris Young has pitched well. He'll face Sano, Plouffe, and Rosario here in the 6th inning.
And you wonder if this is Chris Young's last inning too. Ned Yost likes to get to the bullpen as quick as possible, and Young's longest start this year in a starting role. He's made some relief appearances, but his 7 innings against the Brewers, many times it's 5 2/3, 6 innings.
Here's Sano. He's hit 2 very tall fly balls against Young. One to second baseman Colon, the other one to left fielder Gordon. Takes a strike on the outside corner.
But the pitch count very good for Young. 77 pitches. 51 have been over the plate.
In his last start against the Indians, 68 pitches over 5 innings. And the Kansas City bullpen formula that was so good through the playoffs last year has been changed significantly. Greg Holland, the closer, is out for the year with elbow issues. Tommy John surgery today. Wade Davis has had some back issues, hasn't been available on a reliable basis.
Yeah, what they did, they put a couple starters down in that bullpen in Duffy and Guthrie.
2-1. And Sano takes a strike. 2-2. He thought it was down and in.
A change up right there, down and in. Would have been a tough pitch to hit right here for Sano. Butera doing a good job of framing it, and it was a strike.
And a breaking ball strikes out Sano, 1 away.
Strikeout number 3 for Chris Young. Changing speeds, changing eye angles.
Pitching.
He's pitching, yes. You can see against right-handers he has been tough. Came into the ballgame right-handers hitting only 165.
Bauer has a hit. He's a lefty. Rosario has a hit. He's a lefty. X was, of course, hitting left-handed, a switch hitter. He has one of the hits. Plouffe takes ball 1.
Kurt Suzuki, the only right-handed hitter with a hit.
Twins have switch hitters Santana and Vargas, and lefties Herman and Kepler. But Paul Molitor going with the regular players as often as he can here in the season's final weeks. And a strike, 1-1 to Plouffe. Twins don't have a hit since Suzuki's 2nd inning single. They got a walk in the 5th. Fouled back and out of play. 1-2. Houston's added more 1st inning damage. 3-0. The Astros leading the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Chris Young making his 206th major league start. He has 76 wins. 58 losses. ERA under 4, 3.71. And he picks up his 2nd straight strikeout.
For the Astros, Chris Carter. Been doing a lot of DHing for the Astros. He'll be playing first base today in a sharp single to left, driving in 2 more runs.
Tell you what, he's an animal. He is a big man and a strong man.
Here's Rosario, singled and scored in the 2nd. Golfed foul.
Hey, Dominic.
One strike. This one hooked, foul by about 1.5 feet.
We've seen that from Rosario before. The previous pitch was down by his shins. That one's up at his shoulders, and he's just hits it foul.
That's why I thought he might have the best shot against Young, because I don't know where you'd pitch him. I mean, you throw it anywhere near home plate, and he's just as likely to hit one up in his eyes. You know,
shades of Tony Oliva.
Yeah. 2 strikes to Rosario with 2 gone on the Twins' 6th.
He's got a couple strikeouts in a row on that slider.
Just off the outside corner.
He tried to backdoor that breaking ball. I mean, that just shows you the control that he has on all his pitches, because Butera sat away and he tried to backdoor that slider. An artist.
As Rosario strikes out, and in the 6th inning, Young strikes out the side, and we head to the 7th, tied at 1. Duel here in the series opener.
Yeah, Twins put the first run on the board in the 2nd inning. Aaron Hicks scoring Rosario, but the Royals came right back on Hosmer's fielder's choice. Dyson scores, who led off the inning with a double. Chris Young at 89 pitches after 6 innings.
Colon will lead things off, and he takes up an away ball 1. Bottom third of the Royals batting order: Colon, Butera, and Dyson. Royals with just 3 hits. Santana has pitched around some difficulty throughout. Leadoff double in the 2nd. Royals didn't score. They did score in the 3rd. Then a 1-out double in the 5th. Leadoff walk and a stolen base in the 6th. The Royals have left 5 men on, 4 of them in scoring position.
Santana working his magic here tonight.
1-2. And another foul. Half swing, but he went.
And strikeout number 3 for Santana.
October means baseball, and FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and history. It all begins Thursday on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Butera. Bouncer to short and a fly to left. Outside ball 1.
Drew, of course, now 32 years old, came up with the Twins in 2010, spent 4 seasons in a Twins uniform. Played in 186 ball games in those 4 seasons, hit only 182. But this is already his 6th season, and backup catcher, can play a long time.
Pop straight up in the air. Escobar with the catch. 2 down.
Santana making his 113th start. 316th game, 126 wins, 104 losses. He has 14 complete games, 7 shutouts. He has 1 shutout in his career against the Royals. Shut him out back in 2008 when he was with the Angels.
Just 3 hits allowed tonight, all doubles, 2 of them to Dyson, and he takes ball 1. Leadoff double and a run scored in the 3rd, a 1-out double. And he got as far as 3rd base in the 5th. Fouled back.
Yeah, Dyson, a very good number 4 type outfielder to have on your ball club. Brings a lot with him to the ballpark. Number one is his speed.
Tap to the right side, and Mauer will run to the bag ahead of Dyson. A 1-2-3-7. Really good night for Irvin Santana, and Torrey Hunter will try to give him a lead, leading off the 7th.
Twins and Royals playing game 1 of the series tonight over at Target Field. Tomorrow's game can be seen on Fox starting at noon. That's Channel 9 locally here in the Twin Cities as the Twins and Royals resume this final 3-game series of the season. Now let's go back to the ballpark.
Neil Allen going right there to Santana, says, yeah, I've got one more. I'm fine. 106 pitches. 119 is the most he's wanted, and I like that right there. Santana saying, I got one more in me. I got one more.
With the understanding that this might be his last outing of the year.
Right.
Torrey Hunter, Aaron Hicks, Kurt Suzuki to hit against Chris Young on the home half of the 7th.
All right, Twins need to put a run on the board right here.
And Hunter takes a strike. Torrey with a pop up to short and a ground ball to third.
And you mentioned last inning, Twins don't have a hit since the second inning.
Lifted down the right field line. It'll spin back toward the seats. 0-2.
And probably Young's last inning.
It was Coleman warming up in their pen.
Young with 91 pitches. Done a great job. 61 strikes.
In the dirt, 1-2.
Young came into the ball game just almost 1,200 innings pitched at the major league level. He's averaged over 7 strikeouts an outing or a start for 9 innings.
And foul.
23 in the first, but since then, very good pitch counts.
His father's funeral is going to be on Monday. He'll leave the team again tomorrow for a few days. And Hunter takes low, 2-2.
Well, you mentioned earlier here, Dick, here's a guy that, came to camp on March 7th, signed with the Royals. They didn't expect or know what they're going to get out of him. And he's put together a very solid season and 11 wins so far.
Up high, 3-2. Hicks on deck. Tapper and Moustakas digs it out, fires on the run. Hosmer, so soft with that glove, is able to dig it out one away.
Yeah, the two-time Gold Glove winner Hosmer just makes it look easy sometimes. And Moustakas, you know, that kind of a swinging bunt down that third baseline. He had to get it on that little short hop. Comes hustling in. And right there, a little short hop on the run, even though it's low. You've got a first baseman that is very good at this right here, picking it cleanly for the first out.
Understand how important a play that is when you saw Carlos Santana last night on Jose Ramirez's throw, unable to make that play. And in fairness, I think the one last night was a little bit tougher than this one, but Hosmer's able to make it. 2-0 now to Hicks.
It's just a nice play by the Royals all around. Moustakas made a nice pick right there. And not the easiest throw to have to throw on the run like that. And then you've got your buddy over there making a nice pick.
3-0 to Hicks with Suzuki on deck. 3-ball count to Hunter, but he got him. Now 3-0 to Hicks.
It's only the third 3-ball count for Chris Young here tonight.
And it's a 4-pitch walk. And Hicks and his speed aboard with 1 out in the second.
Here comes Nat Yost.
As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to North Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Ordinarily, when the Royals go to their bullpen, you go, oh no. The way Young pitched here tonight, which might be relieved just to get him out of the game regardless of who they bring in, and it will be Coleman with 1 on and 1 out. Chris Young has been very good again against the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, really has. Good outing right here for Chris Young. Twins able to score a run in the second inning, but I'll tell you what, he used the whole strike zone. Up the ladder, down the ladder, good breaking ball, great location, change-ups. I think he had a lot of hitters off balance and a little frustrated at times. And Lois Coleman coming into the ballgame, making just his 4th appearance. He got called up on September 7th. His whole season was down in AAA Omaha, where he pitched very well, 1.69 ERA. He's been up and down the last 5 seasons with the Royals, 29-year-old.
Suzuki the batter, the last Twin to get a hit. He takes strike 1.
And you see Coleman, a crossfire type pitcher. Fastball, slider, changeup. Saw Brian Shaw last night that kind of goes across his body, but Coleman is a little more severe than that.
his stride is toward Ned Yost, not toward Drew Butera. 0-2.
Coleman in AAA worked 64 innings, 38 relief appearances, so a guy that can go more than 1 inning. Got 9 saves, he gave up only 48 hits.
And a breaking ball looked like he
got underneath it.
Yeah, he lost his footing. He looked back at the rubber a little bit like he slipped.
But it's funny, he kicked the area where everybody else was landing, and he forgot to kick the area that's 2 feet over to his right.
1-2 to Suzuki. Kick still at first. They might try to run on him here. Slide step and a ball hit right back to the pitcher. And it's a 1-6-3 double play. Started nicely by Coleman. The Twins sent just 3 men to the plate in the 7th.
Who's covering? You see Coleman right there making sure that he throws right over the bag, and it was a perfect throw to Escobar. Now you get that one hop, you got plenty of time. He does that little crow hop, a good sidearm flip over to Escobar, and then the completion of the double play. Very nicely turned.
Santana out there to pitch to the Royals in the 8th. It'll be the top of the batting order. Escobar, Zobrist, and Hosmer. Escobar just returned to the leadoff spot where he hit most of the year when we were last in Kansas City. Ned Yost was in the process of moving some people around.
And they said in Kansas City he did not like hitting in the lower part of the lineup. And Ned Yost said, you know what, with Escobar on the top of the lineup, we win.
And we talked about how they didn't win much in September.
Right.
It's fouled off with Suzuki. Ouch. Ron Culpo will hand deliver a baseball.
That got him on, looked like the left shoulder. Santana with a little smirk. Everybody on the team knows the punishment that he can take.
One and one. Santana missed over the inside corner, but it was taken for a strike. 1-2.
Good pitch right there.
The plan was to move Zobrist and Gordon to the top of the order, more high on base percentage guys. This ball punched to right center. Drop for a hit, and Escobar's aboard with a leadoff hit in the 8th.
You know what, slider right there. He just kind of stuck that bat out and hit it softly into a open area out in right center. So Escobar picks up his first hit. It's the first hit since the double by Dyson in the 5th inning. I mean, that just okay. Good slider. And Escobar just went down and hit it softly into right.
Paul Molitor's going to bring a fresh arm into the ball game. Santana coming off the mound here, perhaps for the last time, unless the Twins can win a bunch of ball games. And he certainly pitched his tail off here tonight.
He sure did. He did his job. He kept the team in the game, and hopefully the relievers can keep the score at 1-1. Nice standing ovation by an outstanding crowd here tonight. Get them out of this, but this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins LLC.
Zobrist, a better right-handed batter than left, but two lefties are hitting behind him, Hosmer and Moustakas. Driven deep to left center field toward the bullpen. High off the wall. Escobar to third. He'll be waved around. The throw over both cutoff men, and the Royals take a 2-1 lead.
Perkins, who worked a shutout inning in yesterday's ball game, making his 60th appearance, and Zobrist jumped all over that first fastball, so the run scores. That will be charged to Santana. Fastball right there. The short, compact swing. I thought this ball was going to go out of the ballpark. I think with the warmer weather it would have, but it hit off the netting out there. Hicks got it back in, overshot the cutoff man, but Escobar scores from first base.
Zobrist now 3 for 5 against Perkins with 3 doubles. And now the two lefties, Hosmer and Moustakas, and then Gordon. The Royals came up with their lineup today. I'm sure that was the first thing that Paul Molitor realized, that they would have a switch hitter followed by 3 straight lefties, Hosmer, Moustakas, and Gordon. It was a question of when to bring Perkins in. And Zobrist wasted very little time. The Royals with a couple of first pitch doubles that nearly left the ballpark. Gordon hit one off the top of the wall in right field in the second inning.
Yeah, Royals have 5 hits, 4 doubles. And that double produced a run.
Still nobody out. 2-1 to Hosmer. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Hosmer's hit Perkins well. 5 for 12 with a double.
Well, Perkins has been struggling. I know he had the back issues, some other issues, but in the month of September, only 6 1/3 innings. He gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, and 3 home runs.
High and tight, 3-2. George Springer's hit a home run, and the Astros are pouring it on. Dallas Keuchel batted for the Astros before he threw a pitch. To center. Hicks coming in.
Oh, nice catch.
Sliding catch. And Aaron Hicks takes a hit away from Hosmer. One down.
Nice defensive play by Aaron Hicks. Hosmer hitting it sharply, but Hicks making a sliding catch. And getting that ball in the back of his glove for the first out.
And now Moustakas 0 for 3. A line out to Hicks his last time up. Ball 1. The Twins hit in the 8th inning last night, down a run, 2-1. Came back and tied it right away, and that'll be Perkins' job here. Keep this game a 1-run game. One and one.
They say in Kansas City the reason Moustakas having a better year than last year because he's using the whole field. Got a pitch inside, pull that ball right there. But 152 hits and 542 plate appearances.
Moustakas has had some success against Perkins. 4 hits, 14 at bats.
Well, hitters know what they're going to get from Perkins. A good fastball, hard breaking ball.
Under Mauer's glove, a base hit. Zobrist to third. He'll be held. The ball booted, and now Zobrist coming home. Hunter's throw not in time. And on the play, Moustakas will go to second. Torrey didn't field it cleanly and should be charged with an error, but another base hit off of Perkins. And it's 3-1.
It's a breaking ball right there. Moustakas making good contact. Hits it underneath the glove of Joe Mauer. Now, Torrey may have taken his eye off the ball for a split second to seeing where Zobrist was. And Zobrist ended up holding up at third because the ball got to Torrey Hunter so quickly. And then bobbled right there. And then he sent. So it'll be an RBI error by Torrey Hunter. No RBI, excuse me, a base hit. Moustakas going to second on the overthrow.
Perkins really struggling here, giving up a double to the switch hitter Zobrist. Hosmer hit a line drive. Hicks made a nice catch. Moustakas with a sharp single to right. Now the other lefty, Gordon, will be intentionally walked. And that might be the end of the day for Perkins with the right-handed batting Rios due up next.
Is that Trevor May?
Yep. The Royals with 2 runs already and 2 men on with 1 out. Rios will hit against Trevor May.
Yeah, Perkins only got 1 out, and that's because Aaron Hicks made a nice catch off the bat of Hosmer.
3-1 Kansas City. And another pitching change here in the 8th.
to get into second base after, and also Zobrist to score. Intentional walk to Alex Gordon. Glenn Perkins retired only one batter of the four he faced. And that'll bring in Trevor May. Trevor May, who worked 2/3 of an inning in last night's ball game in Cleveland. Threw 8 pitches, 6 for strikes. He did have a strikeout, making his 47th appearance overall, his 31st relief appearance.
Trevor needs to get a ground ball hit at somebody, and the Twins need to come back with a couple of them here. Already into the 8th inning in Kansas City with a 2-run lead. Rios has not gotten the ball out of the infield. Struck out in the 2nd, fouled out in the 4th, and then lined out to Plouffe to end the 6th.
Yeah, Trevor's been able to get 5 double plays turned behind him when he's been out on that mound.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. And a fastball on the strike.
Trevor with a good fastball, big hard curveball, sometimes sharper curveball, and then a very good changeup.
Off the plate, 2-1.
30 relief appearances for Trevor May out of that bullpen, an ERA right at 3, 4-1. 4 wins, 1 loss.
Check his swing, 3-1. Santana started the 8th, and Escobar just reaching for a pitch down and away, dumped a single to right. And Perkins gave up some well-hit balls and an intentional walk. 3-1 to Alex Rios. Fouled back. May was an effective starter at times in the first half. Invaluable in the second half as the 8th inning man. And then back spasms have set him back in the last few weeks. Just inside, Rios will take a walk. They're loaded up.
It's sad to say that, you know, with Perkins back and Phil Hughes is back and now May, it's come at the wrong time. You know, toward the end of the season when you need these guys healthy the most. Let's do a little pitch by pitch. A breaking ball missing to Rios from Trevor May, and then he evens a count at 1-1. Fastball missing away. A high fastball, and this is a pitch right here. He fell behind Rios, had a good swing. You can almost see Rios backing up a little bit, and that one rolled in on him. So Rios loads the bases with that walk. Neil Allen out there to talk to Trevor May.
Rios lifted. He's in the dugout. And pinch runner in the game, Paulo Orlando. So the Royals already lead by 2. Christian Colon comes up with a in a big spot. Twins playing the infield halfway in. Not much of a choice, but to at least think about coming home for a force play here. And there's a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Twins not infield, not in all the way on the grass, about halfway.
Sharp ground balls hit up the middle. They might try to get a conventional double play, but it's not hit hard. They've got to come home. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
Well, one thing May's been able to do is get some strikeouts. 35 strikeouts in 31 2/3 innings as a reliever. Moustakas at 3rd. Gordon at 2nd. Orlando now at 1st.
1-2. 2-2.
I don't think he's gotten a breaking ball over yet. Tried a couple breaking balls to Rios and missed. And is this a second breaking ball to Colon that he's missed with? Neil Cott's warming up.
Got him with a high fastball. 2 down.
The Twins needed a strikeout. May needed a strikeout, able to get it right there. 2 outs. Let's take a look at the pitch by pitch to Colon. That's the curveball he's missed with so far. And he came back with a fastball. Good location, down and away. Fastball fouled off. And then another breaking ball. And then he just overthrew the fastball up high, and Colon swings through it.
Kendrys Morales will hit for Drew Butera. Chance to bust the game open, and the top run producer for the Royals will make a pinch hitting appearance.
Yeah, look at those numbers right there. As a left-handed hitter, Morales, a switch hitter, hitting .286. 18 of his 22 home runs coming from this side of the plate.
1 for 6 as a pinch hitter.
And he missed again with that curveball. And when you do that, that's 5 curveballs that he's missed with. If you're a hitter, you're going to just say, I'm laying off that. I'm going to sit on the fastball.
And Morales has always been a really good dead red hitter. 1-1.
A good fastball, good location at 95. And that's what May can do. He can overpower some hitters.
Trying to keep this game within reach.
Well, Suzuki sat inside, but May just reared back, and Morales swung through it.
I don't know that May has any command of his fastball. The strikeout of Colon was a pitch that was a foot out of the strike zone on 3-2. High fly to left field, playable for Rosario.
Good job by Trevor May.
Royals get 2. They lead 3. It's a 3-1 Kansas City ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
We start the bottom of the 8th inning at Target Field. After this game, after the final out, we will bring you Twins Live presented by Century Lincoln. We'll look at how the Royals took the lead in the 8th inning with 2 hits, 3 hits that is, a couple of walks, a pair of runs. We'll also look at how Ervin Santana fared tonight in a very sharp outing. 7 innings, 4 hits, and 2 runs allowed. 110 pitches thrown by Ervin Santana. Jack Morris will analyze his start, and a very solid start for Kansas City's Chris Young as well. Plus, we'll bring you reaction from inside the manager's office from Paul Molitor. That's coming up after the game. Dick and Bert.
All right, thank you, Marty. Eduardo Escobar. We talked earlier about Escobar's better at bats are later in the games, and he'll try to have a good one here against Ryan Madson.
Yeah, Madson, a guy that came to spring training, had not pitched at the major league level since 2011, but he went home. He's got 5 children. I talked to him. He said, you know what, I still had it in my gut to want to pitch. Went to spring training with the Royals, made it, and putting together quite a year out of that bullpen.
See if Escobar can get aboard, get the tying run to the plate here in the 8th. Squaring, taking, ball 1. Orlando taking over in right field. Salvador Perez doing the catching. Strike. Escobar drew a walk in the 5th inning. Twins did not get a hit against Chris Young since Suzuki's 1-out single in the 2nd.
Yeah, Madson, 35 years old. Good fastball. We saw 2 at 93, a slider and a changeup. Another good fastball at 93. Good spot, inner half of the plate. .62 1/3 innings, 57 strikeouts, only 14 walks. One of those intentional.
Ground ball, base hit. Escobar gets his late inning hit. Not unlike Escobar's hit that started the Kansas City 8th inning. Escobar, Eduardo Escobar, just putting the bat on the ball as Alcides Escobar did to start the Kansas City 8th.
And again, watch the location of this 2-seam sinking fastball down just below the knees, and Escobar hitting right back up the middle. So the Twins get their first hit since the 2nd inning.
Here is Dozier. Right back to the mound. Madson starts a double play. 2 away.
Yep, 2nd inning in a row that has helped the Royals get out of an inning, a double play. Suzuki hit into the double play to end last inning. And Dozier looked like he got jammed right there. The ball had some movement on it. And it's Madson over to Cologne to Hosmer.
2 down. Bauer at the plate, 1 for 3. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, singling to right in the 1st. Then he lined out to Dyson in center field. On the outside corner at 95 miles per hour. Twins started the day tied with the Angels, a game behind the Astros. Angels and Rangers still tied at 1, bottom of the 8th. The Astros have jumped out 5-0 early on the Diamondbacks. Bauer does his part, a single with 2 outs, and that'll get SANO and his power to the plate.
Yeah, 2nd hit for Joe Mauer.
Timberwolves are hosting a free scrimmage at Target Center Monday, August 5th at 7 p.m. You must reserve advanced seats. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the upcoming events tab. Miguel Sano, tremendous power and incredible timing for a rookie. He's gotten some of the more dramatic hits in the 2nd half of the year.
And this is the experience of these youngsters. You see the crowd behind Sano on their feet. Great crowd here tonight. Almost everybody got up together. Over 31,000 fans almost in unison got up and said, okay, Miguel Sano, tie this ball game up.
Maybe his most dramatic home run, a pinch hit home run in Kansas City that helped the Twins win a ball game in extra innings. 1-0. And now a strike.
Madsen has allowed 5 home runs on the year. But this is the experience that we're talking about for these young kids to go through 3 games to play. And the fans have come out to support their Twins.
Fans haven't had a whole lot to hoot and holler about tonight. See if SANO can give them something.
Make the stadium rock.
1-2.
Good changeup right there.
Pop up, fly ball, and a strikeout for SANO. Just missed the inside corner with another changeup.
He came back with the same pitch.
Got him. And SANO strikes out. Madsen pitches a scoreless 8th inning, giving up a couple of base hits. And it's 3-1 Kansas City.
And came back with a changeup again.
SANO with a 0 for 4 night, a couple of strikeouts. And the Royals carrying a 3-1 lead now as we go to the 9th inning.
And the Twins want to leave it at that, so they're bringing in the closer, Kevin Jepson. Jepson making his 29th relief appearance. He picked up his 15th save of the season last night at Cleveland. His 10th save as a Twin.
And he'll face Gerard Dyson, Alcides Escobar, and Ben Zobrist. Royals, as it turned out, got their leadoff man on in half the inning so far, and a couple of times those leadoff men have come around to score. Dyson, strike one. You know, Paul Molitor said again today in his session with the media how this was always intended to be a year of transition for the Twins. They started the season with Jordan Schaefer in center, but they knew by September it was going to be someone else. At least that was the assumption.
Well, they started with Danny Santana at short. That didn't work out.
And Arcia in left. And the ball dropped at first base by Jepson. With Dyson flying down the line. It looked like Jepson actually got there, but he never controlled the throw from Bauer.
And Dyson and his speed is safe at first. Take a look, Joe. You know, backhanding it. Nice feed to Jepson, covering the bag.
Never caught it.
Never caught it. Ball ended up hitting off his chest.
Error charge to Jepson, and it'll be the third error for the Twins in the ballgame. The transition that Paul spoke of was meant to be in the area of position players. Arcia in left, Schaefer in center, Santana at short, Vargas at DH. And there has been a successful transition, but I don't know that anyone was expecting the transition that occurred in the pitching staff in the second half. Phil Hughes was the opening day starter. He hasn't been able to help much in the second half of the year. Glenn Perkins was an all-star closer through the first half of the year and has had just enormous difficulties in the second half. Driven to right field, and Hunter with the catch and back to first. Not in time to get Dyson.
Nice running catch by Torrey Hunter. Escobar hitting on the button.
Soup.com trivia question. Going back to 1980 when the Royals lost in 6 games to the Phillies. Manager was Jim Fry, and then Dick Hauser when they won it all in '85. Jim Fry was mentioned a few years later as a candidate to manage the Twins after Ray Miller was let go. Twins ultimately made the right choice in Tom Kelly.
They sure did. Keep an eye on Jepson, or excuse me, Dyson at first base.
On the outside corner, a strike.
Jepson pretty good at holding on runners who utilize that slide step, but Dyson at first, he has 26 stolen bases in 29 attempts. Very nice lead at first base.
He has explosive speed. In other words, he can stand there, and it looks like he's flat-footed, but he has some of the quickest acceleration in the league.
He's got Ricky Henderson type of speed.
And to me, he's always been more of a weapon as a bench player because the Royals can, in late innings, when they need to, put him in wherever they want in the lineup once somebody gets on base.
That's what I said earlier, Dick. It's nice to have that guy on the bench as the fourth outfielder, and that's what he's been.
And what the Royals did last year, going back to the wild card game, is they also included Terrence Gore, who's maybe a little bit slower than Dyson, but not much.
Oh.
I was talking with Paul Molitor about that today. If the Twins were to get to the wild card game, 1-1 to Zobrist. Fouled away. The teams that do get to the wild card game can set a roster, and it is only for that game. So you could, for the wild card game, you can just include a couple of starting pitchers. You know the other starters aren't going to start. You can have specialty relievers. You can have a bunch of pinch runners, as the Royals did with both Dyson and Gore.
Right.
And that ultimately really helped them win the ball game against the A's. That's a close play at first base. The Royals ended up exploiting the A's inability to hold runners.
Yeah, quick throw over. Dyson just getting that hand back on the bag. Yeah, you can go with 9 pitchers rather than 12 or 13 and use the other 2 or 3 or 4 for bench guys.
So the Twins have, Paul admitted earlier, you know, the Twins have thought about their roster for the wild card game. That's how they would, that would be their ticket into the playoffs. And they got him, I think. Yes, they did. It was a close play a moment ago, and a snap throw by Jepson picking off Dyson.
Yep. Perseverance paid off right there. Jepson threw over 4 times. And finally, Dyson, you saw that little bit of movement like he was taking off.
Yeah. Royals are going to challenge it.
Joe Mauer.
the heel of his hand get on the bag before Bauer tagging the elbow.
You know, a lot of times there's dirt buildup before the bag, and don't know if that hand was in the dirt or it got on the actual bag. This is going to be a close one.
As we found out in Cleveland, though, there has to be proof. You know, the Twins will still go into the offseason whenever it starts wondering why Pelfrey's foot on the bag with the ball in his glove, and they're going to overrule the out call. And so, not a pickoff.
Yeah, Rusty Staub right there, the first base coach.
Rusty Kuntz.
Rusty Kuntz, I'm sorry. There's Rusty Kuntz. Been in baseball a long time.
Former Twin, center fielder for the Twins before Kirby Puckett showed up. 1-2 to Zobrist. And a deep drive down the line with some hook on it, a foul ball.
It's almost the same foul ball that Escobar hit earlier this game.
You know, the Twins, as they were talking about the wild card roster, still hopes, of course, that they'll be able to put one together. You can imagine them maybe having Buxton in the on the wild card roster. Maybe not beyond that if they were to advance beyond that. And a base hit to right field. And the Royals getting some big hits against the Twins bullpen here in the late innings. And the Angels with a run now in the top of the 9th inning. And they've taken a lead on the Rangers. Albert Pujols with a base hit to center field. And the Rangers trail the Angels 2-1.
Crowd scoring again for the Angels.
Rangers clinched a playoff spot. They did not clinch a division championship. And if the Angels win that game, it's 2 games, the deficit in the West with 2 games to play.
Right.
Now Eric Hosmer.
And there's Terrence Gore right there at first base. Talking about him and his speed.
Strike 1 to Hosmer. One strike. And now 2. By using Jepson here with the Twins behind, I think not a very subtle way of showing how important the Twins think this game is. And maybe the 6-0 score in Arizona has something to do with that too. If it was 6-0 the other way, Twins could afford a loss. But unless the games are turned around here.
Well, I said that when Jepson came in. This is kind of like a, you want your best out there right now to keep the game at 3-1. Hopefully Twins have a rally in the bottom of the 9th. They're going to have to do it against Wade Davis, who was warming up in the bullpen.
Now 1-2. Warming up. It's a save situation right now, but if Osborne drives in a couple of runs here, it would not, then I'm guessing we would see Almonte.
Step off, yes. Saw Escobar kind of sneak behind Dyson, trying to keep him close. And when you see your middle infielder do that and standing at second base, step off, because then you leave a big hole at short.
Down and in 2-2. Twins had a 1-0 lead. The lead didn't last through the next half inning. Back in the second, the Twins got a run. Royals scored in the third. And 2 in the 8th.
It's a good hitting ball club. You know, only Detroit in the American League have a better hitting ball club. And so many times tonight I've seen them stay off that slider down and in, the left-handed hitters off of Santana and right there off of Jepson.
Hosmer spinning one back to the screen. Boyer and Cox warming up. Twins will have the middle of their lineup. Blue, Rosario, and Hunter due up. Jepson trying to get us there in a 3-1 game. Check swing, 3-2. A lot of speed out there. Rusty Kuntz had some words for Terrence Gore.
Yeah, do you send them here? Do you let them? Do you hold? They hold their places.
They go, and the pitch popped up right side. In foul ground, Mauer makes the catch. 2 down.
Oh, good pitch by Jepson right there. Fastball up a little bit. Hosmer popped it up, foul for the 2nd out.
And now Moustakas. Moustakas singled against Perkins in the 8th inning when the Royals took the lead. That's his hit on a 1-for-4 night. Diamondbacks have got one back in the bottom of the 3rd at 6-1. Rangers now batting in the bottom of the 9th, down 2-1 to the Angels. Just missed the corner, ball 1.
Change up missing right there. Jepson coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays on July 31st. He's done a good job out of that bullpen.
Up high, 2-0, trying to pitch around his own error. Dyson hitting a ground ball to the right side. Jepson covering.
Yeah, I wonder if he tweaked something right there.
Yeah, and Suzuki's going to come out and check. He reacted differently after the pitch.
I thought maybe he slipped where his landing foot was.
Paul Molitor out of the dugout,
making sure he's all right.
Twins don't need another injury to a relief pitcher.
The way that he reacted, maybe the back or something, but watch his landing foot and then right there, kind of look down.
Yeah, I don't. It's 3-0, but again on that follow through, he kind of looked like his foundation wasn't quite solid.
Think about the groin area. It does push off that rubber very, very hard.
3-0.
He's not. Something's wrong with him. Yeah, it doesn't look right. Something, it's his groin or his back. Something is jarred. Surprised that Neil Allen doesn't go out there. Yeah, something is definitely wrong. And he's just going to rear back out there and throw another fastball.
Full count to Moustakas. Runners go. The pitch popped up. And Suzuki surrounds it. And makes a catch. Jepson pitches through the 9th inning. It's a 3-1 ball game. The Twins sending the middle of their lineup up, down a couple runs. Twins doing all the talking.
Well,
with a little bit of a smile by Dave Prumer.
He's talking right now about the throw that he missed.
Yeah.
It hit me right in the chest, but he also previously talked about when he landed, it kind of jarred him. So, but he's able to get out of the inning. No further damage by the Royals.
Mike Trout led off the ninth with a triple, scored on the Pujols single that we showed you, and it's a 2-1 final. The Angels right now ahead of the Twins, and the Astros have added a run in the top of the fourth. So the Astros in the second wild card chair, with the Angels now a half game behind them, and the Twins in danger by night's end of falling 2 games behind with 2 games to play and having two teams ahead of them.
Right. Quite a mountain to climb, so the Twins need some magic here. In the bottom of the ninth inning, they'll have to do it against Wade Davis. The numbers unbelievable. Only 33 hits allowed in 65 2/3 innings. There's 15 saves on the year of the 54 saves the Royals have.
Blue takes down and away, ball 1.
Now he is the closer, with Greg Holland having Tommy John surgery today.
Blue for Rosario and Hunter. The Twins need a couple. Foul back, 1-1. Blue full for 3, a fly to left, a bouncer to short, and a swinging strikeout. Twins didn't do much of anything against Chris Young. They got 4 singles against him, and they came in the first 8 plate appearances. 1-1. Tapper left side, easy play for Escobar. 1 down. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. Remember, it was originally scheduled to be a night game. It's been moved to a noontime start, 12:10 actually, first pitch. 11:30 pregame on Fox here in the Twin Cities Channel 9. And it'll be Yordano Ventura against Tommy Malone. Ventura likely the opening starter for the Royals come playoff time, and he'll be pitching to the Twins against Tommy Malone. Here is Rosario, singled leading off the second and scored the lone run for the Twins so far. Deep to the left field corner, but foul.
I don't think the Royals had any idea what they were getting when they got Wade Davis from the Tampa Bay Rays back in December of 2012. They were looking more at James Shields. He was part of that trade. James Shields now with the Padres, but Wade Davis done an incredible job.
Right to Moustakas. Rosario put the barrel of the bat on it. 2 down. That'll bring up Torrey Hunter. The most exciting game, most important game that's been played here at Target Field in years. So much hopes built around this game. What would happen elsewhere? And the worst possible scenario might be playing itself out here. The Twins in danger of losing. The Angels have already won, and the Astros are up big. Here is Hunter. Check swing, ball 1. Torrey looking for his first hit. He's popped to short and hit 2 ground balls to Moustakas. Two and 0. Hunter trying to keep the game alive for Aaron Hicks. Hicks has reached twice. He's driven in the only run so far tonight for the Twins. Swing and a miss. 2-1. At the knees, 2-2.
95 mile an hour fastball on the black. straight over the top.
Good pitch.
Davis at 6'5", 220.
Driven to the right field corner. And a foul ball. Not caught by Orlando in the corner.
Boy, it looked like he got over there quick enough. It was kind of out of our sight line here. Right down that right field line. We'll take a look at it right here. Orlando got over there.
Short-armed it a little bit.
That wall, I think, scared him a little bit.
Hunter with a bit of a reprieve here, getting one more swing. Two and two.
Perez sitting inside.
Got him right down the middle.
Went with a breaking ball. Clipped the inner part of the plate.
And the Royals beat the Twins 3-1 in a game that meant so much more to the Twins than it did to the Royals.
Well, you know what? I've got my feeling about Santana. He went out for the 8th inning after one batter taken out, but the bullpen did not do their job here tonight. And the offense didn't do much.
Scoring first, but the Royals with 3 unanswered runs and a costly loss for the Twins. Tom Hanneman, the Twins will try to regroup in time for a noon start tomorrow.
Dick, the Twins' late inning issues in game number 160 put them in a wild card crisis. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll talk about this loss, Irvin Santana's start, hear from the manager, and preview game 2 tomorrow.